Hey, what's up everyone? John here from TestPrepInsight.com, and today I'm going to be directly comparing Rocket Languages and Pimsleur. I've tested both programs and now it's time to report which one I think is better. So if you're ready, let's get to it. Okay, welcome back. Let's get right to it. I should mention up front here that since I'll just be focusing on the major pros and cons in this video, if you find you need more detail at any point, you can always check out our full detailed written comparison on our website. An easy way to get there is just to Google Test Prep Insight Rocket Languages versus Pimsleur. Alright, to kick things off, let's compare pricing and affordability. Pimsleur offers two subscription options, a premium plan which costs $20 per month and includes access to one language, or for $1 more, you can upgrade to the Pimsleur All Access plan, which includes access to all the Pimsleur languages. There's over 50 of them in total. Rocket Languages, on the other hand, offers lifetime plans as opposed to monthly subscriptions. These range from $150 up to $450, depending on how many levels you want to purchase. And just so you know, the prices I just mentioned are a little deceiving. They're just the MSRPs. Rocket Languages is almost always running some sort of special deal or promotion, and in most cases you can expect to receive at least $50 off, if not more. So be sure to check out the description below for coupon codes. I'll drop any current discounts that I can find down there for you. So, from an overall cost perspective, it's difficult to compare. It depends on what you're looking for. If you just want access for a few months to sort of dip your toes in the water, then obviously Pimsleur is the more affordable option. But if you're serious about learning a new language and want lifetime access, then Rocket is the way to go. I should also mention though that both companies do offer free trials, and Rocket even offers a 60-day money-back guarantee. And by the way, we work really hard to produce honest, helpful content, all totally free, so if Rocket Languages or Pimsleur end up being the right choice for you, we'd really appreciate it if you would use those links listed down below in the description. That's how you can support our channel and allow us to keep creating these types of comparison videos. And if you find that neither Rocket or Pimsleur is a great fit, it's not a problem at all. It doesn't matter to me what language learning program you purchase, we have a ton of other helpful reviews and comparisons that you can check out. Okay, next up, let's talk about the structure and format of each company's lessons. And let's start with Rocket Languages. Their programs consist of two different types of lessons. There's interactive audio lessons and language and culture lessons. For the interactive audio lessons, a moderator speaking in English walks you through a native conversation in your target language step by step. The moderator will start by explaining the goal of the lesson, cover the reasoning behind it, and then set the stage for the upcoming situation and conversation. Then you'll dive into the actual conversation where you listen to native speakers converse. And every few sentences, the moderator will stop to explain what you just heard, provide pronunciation tips, grammar explanations, and maybe most importantly, ask you questions and have you engage and participate in the conversation. So essentially, think of these interactive audio lessons as guided native conversations. And then the language and culture lessons are sort of like interactive textbooks. You'll read a paragraph explanation containing grammar rules and cultural insights, engage with a few examples to ensure you understand, and then rinse and repeat. And then to round out each lesson, you then review what you just learned through several short reinforcement exercises. This includes variations of flashcards, speaking drills, writing drills, and quizzes. Now, when I typically compare language learning programs, the lessons between the companies I'm covering differ substantially. But in this case, Pimsleur's lessons are actually very similar to Rocket's. Pimsleur's core lessons are also audio-based and center around mock conversations where a moderator speaking in English guides you through a native conversation step by step. And then following each audio lesson, you review what you just learned through a variety of drills and exercises, including reading drills, flashcards, quizzes, pronunciation training, and speed games. Sound familiar? So I guess the key takeaway here is that both companies' core lessons pretty much mirror each other in terms of length, content, and format. But the Rocket courses add a whole new dimension with their language and culture lessons. This is really where the two companies start to diverge. Rocket just takes grammar instruction and local culture in your target language much more serious than Pimsleur. And by the way, if you want to see examples of the lessons or drills from both companies, be sure to check out our full detailed written comparison. I'll have it linked down below in the description for you. I have screenshots and examples over there so you can get a better feel for what to expect. Okay, so now that you have an idea of how Rocket and Pimsleur compare in terms of pricing and lessons, let's dive into where Rocket wins over Pimsleur and vice versa. But before I get to that, I should mention that every single month here at Test Prep Insight, we give away a free language learning course to one lucky person. It's super simple to enter. Everyone is eligible. I'll put all the details down below in the description. It'll take you less than 10 seconds, and hey, you never know. You could win a free subscription to Pimsleur or Rocket Languages. Okay, let's start with Rocket Languages. Advantage number 1 is their interactive audio lessons. Now, to be clear, both companies' audio lessons are top-notch. I'm a big fan of both and believe they are more effective than lessons from other language learning companies like Rosetta Stone or Duolingo. I love that Rocket and Pimsleur's audio lessons prompt you to use vocabulary and respond to native speakers in the context of actual simulated conversations. You're actively involved in tracking the conversation, and the moderators keep you attentive since you need to understand what's going on in the situation and respond at the proper times. In my opinion, this type of simulation is powerful at getting you to recall and use the language under pressure, just like you would in real-life situations. That's the key point here. Both Rocket and Pimsleur's audio lessons simulate real-world experiences, which really, at the end of the day, is about the best environment for truly learning a new language, as opposed to just listening to words and phrases and repeating them in a vacuum like you do with other companies. But ultimately, Rocket gets the win here over Pimsleur because they add in a few extra wrinkles. For one, Rocket also provides a rolling transcript of the mock conversation as well. That way you can read and follow along as you listen and interact with the native speakers. And then after the audio lesson is over, you can elect to replay the entire conversation and instead take the place of one of the native speakers for even more practice. And the neat thing here is that the company's speech recognition technology grades your pronunciation training throughout the conversation. It's pretty cool. And speaking of the speech recognition technology, that's advantage number 2 for Rocket. This is something that the Pimsleur language programs lack. As you complete the Pimsleur audio lessons, there's no technology listening to ensure you're saying words and phrases correctly, whereas the Rocket language programs utilize Google's Web Speech API, which many consider to be one of the most advanced speech tools in the entire world. So as you complete the audio lessons and various reinforcement drills, the Rocket program records your voice and then uses Google to determine the accuracy of your pronunciation. Rocket, or should I say Google, gives you a grade from 1 to 100 on your pronunciation so you can closely track how you're performing as opposed to just a blanket correct or incorrect. Now, to be clear, no voice recognition technology out there is perfect. It's not an apples-to-apples replacement for conversing with an actual fluent speaker in your target language. There certainly will be times when the tech will give you a perfect grade and you actually pronounced a word incorrectly or vice versa. But still, compared to other voice recognition software that I've tested, and the fact that Pimsleur is lacking in this department, the Rocket/Google combo definitely gets the win here. Okay, advantage number 3. As I mentioned earlier, the Rocket language programs really emphasize cultural insights and grammar instruction more so than Pimsleur. And the nice thing here is that Rocket accomplishes this in different ways. First, as you complete the interactive audio lessons, the Rocket moderator is more proactive than Pimsleur's in stopping to discuss different grammar principles and verbally explain the reasoning behind them. And then, of course, the majority of the grammar instruction is delivered through the company's language and culture lessons, which sort of take the form of a digital textbook. But to be clear here, I'm not talking about some long, dense textbook like you used in your high school chemistry class. Rocket does a great job breaking these lessons down into brief, succinct chunks. Each section within the lesson is only 3 to 6 sentences long on average, and within the lesson there are dozens of breakpoints where you can interact with examples and pictures to keep you engaged. So really, it's more like a mix between an abbreviated digital textbook and an interactive exercise. Overall, I was just really impressed with the level of grammar and cultural insights that the Rocket courses provide, as well as how the company integrates this material into their lessons. Alright, last up here, advantage number 4. I like that Rocket attempts to create and promote a community among its users and really sort of gamify the language learning experience. So not only are there forums where you can interact with other Rocket users, ask questions, get answers, explore topics, learn tips and tricks, etc., but when you complete lessons and drills, you also earn points. And then there's also a leaderboard where you can keep track of your achievements and compare your progress and performance against other Rocket language users to keep yourself motivated and energized. And then in addition to the points leaderboard, Rocket also offers certification tests. So as you complete each module, you can choose to take a test based on the widely accepted CEFR framework, and if you score at least 80%, you'll receive a printable certificate of achievement, which I know, it doesn't sound like much in the grand scheme of things, but when you're trying to learn a new language, every milestone and accomplishment can really improve your spirit and self-confidence. So overall, I like that the Rocket program offers outlets for you to connect with other users, as well as tools and games to keep you inspired and encouraged. Okay, let's flip the script now and cover the major advantages in favor of Pimsleur. Number one is that Pimsleur's digital platform and mobile app are better than Rocket Languages. Now to be clear here, I'm not talking about functionality. Both companies' apps and websites function just fine. They're snappy, easy to use, and are organized in an intuitive and logical manner. But at the end of the day, the Rocket Languages user interface just isn't as polished or professional looking as Pimsleur's. So really, I'm talking about window dressing, the look and feel. The Rocket digital platform just feels a bit outdated, whereas Pimsleur's feels stylish and modern. But to play devil's advocate here, I'm not sure how big of a deal this truly is. After all, you're likely not going to select a language learning course based on looks, but rather the effectiveness of its learning framework and lessons. But for some people out there, user interface and experience might be a serious consideration, which is why I thought I'd mention it. Okay, advantage number two, Pimsleur covers more languages and variations of languages than Rocket. Obviously, both companies offer the popular language courses like Spanish, French, Italian, German, Chinese, etc. But when it comes to some of the other less popular options out there like Vietnamese, Ukrainian, and Finnish, for example, Pimsleur is the clear winner. In total, Pimsleur covers over 50 languages, whereas Rocket covers just around 15. Plus, for certain languages, Pimsleur even covers the specialty variations and dialects. For example, in addition to Latin American Spanish, Pimsleur also offers a Castilian Spanish course, whereas Rocket does not. So overall, key takeaway here. If you're looking to learn a lesser-known language or a variation of a popular language, Pimsleur is your ticket. And that about does it for the detail in this comparison. So let's get to the final verdict. Should you choose Rocket Languages or Pimsleur? Well, after testing each program, it's a very close call. Both options are great. In fact, I prefer Rocket and Pimsleur over the majority of other language learning programs out there, including Duolingo, Rosetta Stone, and Babbel. But if I had to choose between the two, I would go with Rocket Languages. I just think they offer the more complete language learning courses from top to bottom. Compared to Pimsleur, I like that Rocket adds in a few extra wrinkles into their audio lessons, their speech recognition technology is top-notch, and they provide more detailed grammar instruction. So, for those primary reasons, I would recommend Rocket over Pimsleur. And that's all I have for you. I hope this video has been helpful and you learned a little something. If so, make sure to return the favor by subscribing to our channel, liking this video, and dropping us a quick comment below. That'd really be appreciated. And if you want to learn more about either of these companies, or perhaps even another language learning company, make sure to jump on over our website, testprepinsight.com, or check out the other videos on our YouTube channel. We have a ton of great content. Anyways, as always, thanks for watching, best of luck, and we'll see you in the next one.